So, please take a seat because today I have something very special for you. I have some very good, high quality beans from Friedhats. They're from Ethiopia. They've been in-bag fermented, which means they have some notes of peach, mango, pineapple, tea, lychee, strawberry, dark chocolate, and even cacao. And I'm very curious to see how this goes. I haven't tasted it yet, so it's my first time. And if it's your first time, I hope you enjoy. We'll be brewing it with the V60, so please, once again, take a seat here at my virtual bar. My name is CD, and welcome to Tentempié Coffee and Drinks. Alright, so before we start with these beans, we need to do some prep work on the V60, because as I mentioned, we'll be using this to brew the V60. So it needs a bit of prep. I'll put these beans away and start off with the filter and explaining a bit of the recipe that we're going to be using today. So first of all, you should fold the seam of the V60 filter so it fits tight and snugly inside your V60. And then you can preheat it with some boiled water. So if you want to brew along, I will be showing you all the steps. And today's recipe will be the one that James Hoffman uses in one of his V60 videos. I'll put the link to that video down in the description. And for now, we're just gently trying to, preheat the brewer, make sure that all that paper taste gets out of the filter, and make sure everything gets a nice, cozy, and in that good temperature. So for now, we'll just leave this be. And we're going to get out our scale so we can weigh our beans. So magically a glass appeared. Now we're going to be opening this up to weigh out 30 grams of beans. We're going to be using 30 grams of coffee to brew about 400 grams of coffee with a total water usage of 500 grams. So let's open this up. It's the first time I actually opened them up, and I'm very curious to see how it smells like. If it has a seal, we're going to be fiddling around with that seal a bit. So I'll just kind of like open it up like a mad lad and have a nice smell. Whoa! That smells amazing. Holy snap. It really does smell like some sort of fruitiness you won't expect from coffee. Like normally coffee with fruit flavors are like red berries or like a bit like wine or something. But this is one tropical bunch of fruits. That's a happy bunch. Well, let's weigh out 30 grams of that happy little bunch to use in our V60. So let's do that real quick. It's always a thing with these videos, like trying to get to the 30. I know you don't have to be exact, but some little perfectionist in me wants to get that exact number of 30 grams. And we got it. Nice. That's actually really nice. 30 grams of coffee, which I will be grinding off screen, and I'll show you the grind later. We grounded the coffee, it's right here, and now we need to do a couple of steps before we get into brewing. So remember we preheated this, we need to get rid of that preheat water. What I like to do is kind of recycle it, pour it in a cup that I'm going to use for coffee later, so it gets a double use, so it warms up as well, and put that back together. So putting the cup aside for now, and I'm going to get the coffee grinds in the brewer. So once you do that, make sure you shake it to level, put it on your scale, tare it, and then make a little divot in there. Make a little well in there so that the water actually gets into the deeper parts of the coffee, so everything gets nice and wet and nice and ready to be extracted. So let me explain a bit about the steps we're going to take. So James Hoffman's V60 technique requires you to use a bloom phase and then 2 pours. So first we're going to be adding 60 grams of water. Note, that's double the amount of water double the amount of coffee we have. Because we're using 30 grams, we're pouring 60 grams, the double. That, we're going to do that and then just leave it to bloom for 45 seconds. After there's 45 seconds, we're going to add water up to 300 grams. And we're going to do that in a 30-second time frame. So at 1:15, we'll be at 300 grams of water. Then after those 300 grams of water, we'll add 200 grams more in another 30-second time frame, meaning at the end of 1 minute and 45 seconds, we'll have 500 grams of water in the system. And then it's just the drawdown. Then we just wait for it to just, naturally go through the filter, naturally brew. And then before we let that happen, you also have to stir. It sounds like a lot of information. Don't worry. If you want to brew along, I will put down all the times, all the steps, so you can brew along with me. If you're here for a nice cup of coffee, don't worry. At the end, I'll brew enough for you and me, and we'll get to taste. So get ready. I'm almost ready. I just need to boil the water, and then we can start brewing or making you a nice cup of coffee. Now we're ready to brew. Okay, time to get some things ready, right? We have the brewer with the coffee with the divot in it. We have a spoon. We have our scale set and ready, everything tare to 0 grams, 0 seconds. And we have a kettle with enough water, like more than enough. So it needs to be above 500 grams of water at about boiling point. So it's off the boil, like normally 98 degrees. With lighter roast, you want to have that high degree of hotness, basically, because that really helps it to extract a lot of the nice tones. So if you're ready, I'm ready. And let's start this up. So, gonna grab the kettle. I got the coffee in there. And when I say go, I'll start the timer and then we can brew together. And if not, if you like the coffee just to drink it, then you can enjoy the show. So, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So again, in the first 45 seconds, we are in the blooming phase. I'm just gonna add 60 grams of water in there to bloom it. Once you've done that, 62 is okay, 58 is okay, you have a little window. You want to shake it around. Make sure that every piece of coffee gets nice and moist, nice and wet, so it activates. You want to release those gases. You want to make sure the coffee is ready to be brewed, which gives it's sort of like waking it up, making sure it doesn't get shocked by the coffee if you just pour it in, So now we just have to wait a little bit more as the coffee gets to know each other with the water. Hey, what's up? I see you're at a hot degree, but don't worry, we'll get used to each other. So now, at 45 seconds, we're going to break up that crust that's kind of formed on itself, and we're going to be adding up to 300 grams of water total in the next 30 seconds. So we got to pour a bit aggressively and make sure we hit 300 grams at that 1 minute and 15 second mark. Make sure you do that in circles, nice and steady flow. And now I think we're going to reach it. Yeah, we reached it pretty nicely. We have 300 grams of water at 1:15, and now we have to go on. We have to reach 500 grams in the next 30 seconds. So to make that a bit more easier to understand, 500 grams, we need to hit that at the 1 minute and 45 mark. So right now it's 1:30. We have 15 seconds left to get to that 500 gram mark. Again, still using the circular motion, still in a slower pace, but steady circular motions, not to agitate the coffee too much. So right now I'm a bit late, but it's okay. You can be 10 seconds late, 10 seconds early, that's fine. And now the drawdown has started. So grab your spoon, make sure you kind of swirl the coffee a bit, give it a little stir to make sure that all those coffee chunks at the edge fall in there so nothing goes without being extracted. And once it does settle down a bit, you want to carefully just swirl it as to create a flat bed. Now this is difficult. I'm having a bit of difficulties as well. But if you take it nice and easy, you can swirl it. And that's it. Then you just leave it. This should take around 3 minutes, 3 minutes 30. That's kind of like the V60 mark. If you want to translate this to a Chemex, which we'll be doing in the next video, you want to aim for 4 minutes, 4 minutes 30, even 5 minutes. But because the V60 has a lighter filter, it will take us around 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So now, enjoy some coffee footage, and I'll see you guys when the coffee is finished, and we'll have a taste. Okay, brewing has been done. That means we are ready at around 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And we gotta make sure we clean things up. So grab a waste container and grab your cup that's been preheated with that paper water from the heating up the brewing. Make sure you dump that out real nice. And make sure you take away the top part of the V60 and put it away without it dropping. Then, after that's done, I'm just gonna take this out, put the skill away, and use the spoon one last time to swirl the coffee inside to make sure everything's nice and balanced and mixed. Make sure to do that before you pour so everyone gets a nice balanced cup. So after that, go ahead and pour yourself a nice cup of hard-earned coffee. And we'll give it a taste soon, but I want it to cool down a bit. And that also gives me some time to talk about the grind. So basically, we hit 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So we're a bit over the 3:30 golden mark, so to say. But that's okay. Say you actually reach 4 minutes or 4 minutes and 30 seconds. That means your coffee has been ground to fine. So you might want to coarsen that up to make sure the coffee flows naturally and more fluently so that you reach 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Say you reach 2 minutes or 2 minutes 30. That means you have ground it to coarse, meaning you need to go finer so that you reach that 3 minute 30 mark, because finer means the water is going to have a harder time to go through the coffee, slowing down the process, extracting more, giving it a more balanced cup. In other words, if your coffee tastes bitter or astringent and your time is over 4 minutes, you want to coarsen up your grind. If your coffee tastes weak, under extracted, and it took you like 2 minutes or 2:30 to brew, that means you need to grind finer so that it gets extracted more. So that's a bit of the grind knowledge behind the V60. And now I'm going to try the cup. And I hope if you brewed along, that you will let me know how it went. I'm really curious to see how you guys brew at home. This is, of course, a V60. And on this channel, I plan to brew with Chemexes as well, or with AeroPresses, and even with an espresso machine I have. So let's have fun together and explore the world of coffee. So please let me know in the comments how that went. And if you're here to enjoy a nice cup of coffee, don't worry, I have enough for both of us. But for now, let's taste this Ethiopian coffee by Friedhats, stationed in Amsterdam. Let's see what this in-bag fermented Ethiopian experiment has to offer us. Oh, so the aroma is already amazing. Fruity, very, very tropical, I guess. It's interesting. So I'm just going to shut up and taste it, you know. Oh, wow. Wow, that's mango. For me, that's really mango-ish. Oh man, this is mango, and then you have like this bright acidity, like a pineapple that flushes over. And then you have like this tea-like thing, and then, oh man, this is amazing. And the one of the people behind Friedhats is Lex Veneker, which is kind of like a well-known barista. I think he got second place at the World Barista Championship in either 2018 or 2019. You might want to Google that. And he stated on his website, where you can buy this coffee, that this is his favorite coffee, the one that they ferment in the bag. I'll leave in the description 2 things for you to have a little homework if you'd like. I'll leave the James Hoffman video with his own recipe, his own take on it. I really got inspired by that. So yeah, check that out. Make sure to give him a bit of support. And also I'll leave the link to this exact coffee as well if you're in the Netherlands or somewhere close, so you can order it if you're curious. And for now, I hope you've enjoyed your stay here at my virtual bar. My name is CD. Hope you've enjoyed your stay here at Tentempié Coffee and Drinks. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'll be here. My bar is always open for you. And enjoy your day. And make sure to drink good coffee, support your locals, take care, and be safe. Bye-bye. Oh, man.